It's been 2 years since we got a big Samsung smartwatch, but the Galaxy Watch is finally here, and don't let the name fool you. It's a direct successor to wearables like the Gear S3 Frontier and last year's Gear Sport. The company hasn't tried to shake things up too much though, and as a result, it might not be the most exciting smartwatch out there, but the Galaxy Watch nails the basics and manages to be pretty thoughtful sometimes too. Let's take a closer look. There are two versions of the Galaxy Watch, one with a 42mm body, and this one, a stainless steel 46mm body. You'll get either a 1.2 or 1.3 inch screen respectively, and as usual for Samsung, they're really crisp and bright. Inside these watches, you'll find a dual-core Samsung Exynos chipset, and more importantly, Samsung's fantastic rotating bezel is back. It makes scrolling through widgets and installed apps a breeze, and as far as I'm concerned, it's still the most elegant way to interact with a smartwatch. True to Samsung's word, this bigger Galaxy Watch can easily hit 4 days on a single charge. Well, with some caveats anyway. By default, the Galaxy Watch's screen turns off after a while, but you can set it to stay on all the time if you're willing to deal with a little less battery life. With consistent use of the battery saver mode, you could prolong life even further as long as you're alright with some trade-offs. See, battery saver mode disables just about everything but calls, messages, and notifications, and it turns the screen black and white, and it gives you a stripped-down watch face. It's definitely handy in a pinch, but you're better off just charging the watch a little more frequently. And if you're considering using the smaller version of the watch like my colleague Sherlyn, just keep this in mind, its battery doesn't even come close to the 46mm model. It only lasts for between 2 and 2.5 days tops. Just like almost every Samsung wearable before it, the Galaxy Watch runs Samsung's in-house Tizen operating system, despite what some rumors before launch suggested. It's honestly come a long way since the old days. There are thousands of apps and watch faces available for the Galaxy Watch, and a surprising number of them are actually worth using. The only real catch is that Tizen still doesn't have the support of many major app developers and services, so you might run into trouble if you're looking for some specific software. But let's zoom in a bit. What's really new here? Well, for one, Samsung's virtual assistant Bixby is here to handle all of your voice commands. Hey Bixby, how far away is the moon? Well, okay, fine. Some of your voice commands. The basics are well tended to, so sending messages and asking it to track exercises work pretty well, and Bixby never had too much trouble figuring out what I was saying. Don't bother asking it general knowledge questions though, like how far away the moon is, or to search for information on topics the watch itself suggests. It just flounders. For now at least, Bixby still falls well short of Siri or Google Assistant. Like the Gear Sport before it, the Galaxy Watch can track different exercises while you perform them, from lunges to mountain climbers to bench presses. It's difficult to be sure exactly how many calories I'm burning when I'm trying to sneak around the office for secret dimly lit workouts, but Samsung's specificity with exercises makes me more likely to trust its guesses. The watch can also automatically track certain exercises like running or cycling, but I wouldn't rely on it. It's helpful when you forget to start tracking one manually, but it tends to kick in well after you've already started working out. On the flip side, the watch has actually been quite good at locking down the broad strokes of my sleep schedule, and it offers what feels like accurate guesses as to the quality of my sleep. Until a wearable like this learns how to track your brainwaves, it's really just making educated guesses, but it's made some pretty accurate records of my sleep patterns for the past week. Not bad at all, especially considering the Apple Watch still can't do this. On the off chance you wanted a Galaxy Watch for its stress tracking feature, you should probably just hold off. It's great in theory, but all the watch really does is guess how stressed you are based on your heart rate. You are obviously going to know when you're really freaking out better than your watch does, and even during my most manic moments this past week, but the Galaxy Watch basically thought I was kind of doing fine the whole time. My stress meter spiked into the red a few times, but never bad enough for the watch to offer breathing exercises the way that we were led to believe it would. It might take even more time than I've given it to become really useful, but I'm not holding my breath for this stress meter. Ultimately, the Galaxy Watch is Samsung's most fleshed out smartwatch to date, and there's a lot to like about it. Really though, the biggest thing Samsung has working against it right now is its timing. Apple will almost certainly launch some new watches in the coming weeks, and Google's Wear OS just got a big redesign. For Samsung fans, there really is no better choice out there. Everyone else, though, would probably be better served by waiting to see what the company's biggest rivals have up their sleeves first.